Hey guys, Bridget Jones's Baby is the third in the Bridget Jones series of movies and is the follow-up to 2004's Edge of Reason. When I heard that this movie was coming out, I can't say that I'm particularly excited. I've never really been a fan of the Bridget Jones series of films. I thought 2004's Edge of Reason was pretty below par. However, the first movie, Bridget Jones's Diary, I did think was a better movie and I enjoyed watching that to a certain extent. So where are we now? Bridget is now 43. And in the opening of this movie, echoing Bridget Jones's Diary, she's celebrating her birthday. She's all on her own, she's single again. So while at a music festival with one of her colleagues, she meets an American, Jack, who is played by Patrick Dempsey, and subsequently has a one-night stand with him. A few days later, whilst at a funeral, she bumps into Mark Darcy, her old flame, and subsequently has a one-night stand with him. So the plot begins. She is now pregnant and she doesn't know who the father is. So for the rest of the movie, the two guys in her life have to become not necessarily friends, but they have to get on with each other, they have to work together because she wants them both in her life. Hugh Grant declined to return for this movie, which is why the role was written for Patrick Dempsey, and there's quite an ingenious way how they actually get around him being in the film rather than just not acknowledging the fact that he was there in the first place. This movie, I must admit, did surprise me because, as I mentioned, I wasn't particularly looking forward to it. However, I find that I was laughing all the way through. The movie is really genuinely funny. Emma Thompson, who plays Bridget's obstetrician, is absolutely fantastic, and as one of the writers, she wrote herself a cracking part here. Some of her facial expressions and attitudes in here are absolutely brilliant. As usual, Colin Firth is fantastic and brilliant as Mark Darcy, and he always plays a good role, and there's no difference here. Patrick Dempsey, the newcomer to the cast, really holds his own against the established cast members here and makes the part of Jack Quant his own. Returning cast members, we have Jim Broadbent and Gemma Jones as Bridget's mum and dad, and as I mentioned earlier, Hugh Grant is nowhere to be seen. However, he is mentioned and he did explain why he's not actually in the movie. Emma Thompson cracks some really good gags, constantly referring to Bridget's pregnancy as a geriatric pregnancy, even though Bridget is only 43 years old. Other than the pregnancy, there's very little other storyline to speak of. Bridget's boss at work is a young go-getter who is wanting to revamp the news programme Bridget's working for with sort of clickbait style headlines, and there are a few funny scenes going around that, especially when Bridget is producing one of the shows and uses the talkback to quite funny effect. While watching the movie, there is a distinct feeling of familiarity about the movie, and it does recapture a lot of the feeling from the original Bridget Jones's Diary movie, and that is in no small part down to the return of Sharon Maguire as director. She did the first movie, she skipped the second movie, probably quite wisely to be fair, and once again here she really does pull everything together and give us something that is actually worth watching. But one thing I will say is the movie is pretty predictable. I went into the movie thinking this is what would happen, and at certain points I did find that the movie was kind of hitting everything that I kind of expected. But having said that aside, it's a small gripe. The movie made me laugh, it was entertaining, I found myself actually quite enjoying it, so I'm going to give Bridget Jones's Baby 4 out of 5. Thanks again for watching this review, guys. I really do appreciate you spending time to watch these, and please hit that like button. Why not leave me what you thought of the movie down there in the comments, and I'll see you again here very soon for another review. Bye.